For example, we've overfished the oceans terribly, and there's a variety of things we're doing environmentally that are less than wise. A multitude of complex problems that beset us that would require some diligent effort and sacrifice to set right, as well as wading through the cognitive complexity necessary to actually detail out the problems, something that people like Bjorn Lomborg are particularly good at doing. And instead, what we do is we collapse all of the apocalyptic threats into a single threat. And so that's the threat of environmental disaster. We collapse the multitudinous causes of environmental disaster into a single variable, which is carbon. And then we collapse all the necessity for pursuing moral virtue into doing nothing but being opposed to carbon. And then we proceed merrily along our way. And there's something truly and catastrophically dangerous about that, particularly when one of the consequences, and we started to see this unfold in Europe, is that not only do we put idiotic virtue signaling policies in place that raise energy costs for everyone, falling most heavily on the poor, we make energy much more unreliable than it has been in the past. We increase our dependence on tyrants, the tyrants who control the fossil fuel industry, let's say outside of the West, and we actually increase the amount of pollution we're producing. And so that's pretty much failure on all fronts, including those defined by the people who are putting forth these propositions. We see this on the ESG front too, environment, social and governance. This idea that capitalists have a moral, there's a moral imperative for capitalists to subsume their capitalist enterprise to a broader stakeholder vision, which is essentially a vision of state, media, and corporate collusion. And that virtue is then defined as that. I see that happening on the ESG front, is that there are no shortage of people who've gamed the